All right, we're live. Good evening, everybody. Happy Monday to you. One day closer to Friday, as I always say. Anyway, my name is David Hamm, and I'm an engine builder for 25 years now in NASCAR racing. Former Jackman for 7 years, and before that, I was a dealership technician. And here I have with me Beer Man, who is where's your chair at? In the Coors Light team, the Beer Man. Tell them what you did, Scott.
NASCAR sponsor services for about 12 years, taking care of Coors Light sponsors and Bell South and quite a few other ones. But
yep.
Took care of the Coors people. Yes, we did.
So I got my new
tours.
There you go, pit tours. So I would always Scott would bring the pit tours around, and then I would be there with my jack. So he would have people come up and ask questions and that kind of thing. But Scott slowed his feet over many years. How many years in there, Scott?
Oh, about 12 years.
12 years with the Coors team?
Yeah, about there.
Give or take?
Give or take a few.
So we're out here in my shop right now. You can see some of the old tractors I got behind us, and some of the old cars, an old Thunderbird with the guitar lean against it, and a 44 John Deere right here, and a 49 Ford 8N, and my Jeep, and then two more tractors, and then another tractor back here. So I like my tractors, so it keeps me busy.
And the most important part about today's show, there's no more Chevrolet Monte Carlo in the back, is there?
Chevrolet Monte Carlo is
gone.
It's done. So
Ford land, baby.
Yeah, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on that bell notification, because every Monday night at 7:30 we do a NASCAR chat. Sometimes Beer Man will be here, but he's probably going to be in Florida for the rest of the year. Pretty close to it.
No, come on.
He'll be back some, but
yeah.
And you'll see every week my hair's going to be getting longer and my beard's going to be growing out, and then it's going to start growing up right here because I'm getting ready for a big Tom Dooley project play here in Statesville, North Carolina. So if you get a chance, you can come out and check that out, and we'll be selling CDs and really good music. Some of our local friends playing on that CD. Should be really good. But we're here to talk about NASCAR. And we've talked about the race we had yesterday, the Folds of Honor Quicktrip 500. And Brad Keselowski was the winner, and the first win for the Ford Mustang in the Cup Series. It's important to say Cup Series because we've been running the Mustang in the Xfinity Series for several years now. I believe we'd actually won a championship or two with it. But anyway, that's another story. I see a spider coming down right there.
Holy cow.
So I'm keeping an eye on it. It's like the wind's blowing a little bit and it blows in just a little. So anyhow, I thought that was pretty cool. The very beginning of the race, they had I'll read his name off. General Julian D. Alford, Brigadier General from Afghanistan. See, that's the great thing about NASCAR. They're all patriotic. You don't ever see anybody taking a knee until they get ready to change tires and that kind of stuff. But you won't see them doing it for the national anthem. That's a fact. So
that was pretty cool. That was the highlight of the day, really. The beginning. Well, not the highlight, but one of the highlights of the day.
Yeah, it was a great way to get started.
From our military. So kudos to the military on that one.
So we got Rachel Rodman, Terry Quinn, Tracy, DHammiam. Go on and subscribe to her channel. She does a lot of these scratch off ticket videos, and you'll see a lot of those on my channel. Trying to get her rolling on that because one of the things she really enjoys doing. And so anyway, Rachel Rodman says, "How was Daytona, Scott?"
Daytona was a lot of fun. You know, I had quite a bit of a bum foot, sort of say. I had a thing called plantar fasciitis.
Plantar fasciitis.
Yes, it hurts. So a lot of times I did a lot of walking and I didn't want to walk anymore. And so at one point I wanted to put my foot in the beer cooler. But that wasn't going to be really cool. But other than that, we had a good time. We were guests of the 18 bunch, and we thought we were going to go to Victory Lane there with that 18 bunch there for a little bit. Special day with Coach Gibbs and for the whole sport. It was a good story coming out of Daytona, you know, and so it was good. JD was well missed and really well loved in the sport, and he was prepared to take over that whole organization, and the loss of JD Gibbs was truly a loss for the whole sport. But
I talked about him on my last video.
Yeah, you did
a little bit,
and it was still a good weekend all in all. Ford's looking good. You know, that Hendrick Hendrick Emergent you saw there on Daytona. That was good. A couple little bumps and stuff. But, you know, we're here to talk about Sunday's race. And I got to tell you, the Hendrick car didn't really show up again. So if they don't show something the next couple of races out there in the West Coast, they're going to be really scratching their heads.
Paul Rodriguez on. You know, one of the things that I thought about today was how Jimmy Johnson typically run really good on the high horsepower tracks where, you know, he can just hang it all out there. But now he doesn't have that. You know, they may be a little behind on the horsepower too, but now we got high drag. You know, they're wearing the tires quicker. They got less horsepower.
Package.
The package. That's it.
The package was an 8-inch spoiler that was really what they're punching such a big hole through the air that once the lead you get past, the next thing you know, the second and third place are coming right up next to him. So
yeah, he got up next to I believe it was a 42 car, and you could see first of all, you could see the hood on their cars just like really, you know, flexing a lot. But then the actual what Darrell kept calling the hood flaps were coming up on those cars. I was thinking they were in the cowl area, but they were popping up on some of the cars because of all the air flowing around there, and a lot of that's because of how much drag those cars have on. And the big spoilers, like Scott said, 8-inch spoilers, and you know they're only turning look like about 8,000 RPM, you know, and
flat footing it.
Yeah, they were flat footing it all the way around the track, and that's one thing I asked Ricky Stenhouse one time. What was the biggest difference? You know, he won 2 championships 2 years in a row in the Xfinity Series, and then he came up to the Cup Series, and he wasn't running as good back then. And I asked, and so he done really good with that. But the hardest thing in the Cup Series was the different gears, different horsepower, and he had to let off in the turns, you know, and hit the brake and stuff like that. So maybe we'll see Stenhouse, you know, that's his style of car horsepower, gear ratio, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, maybe he'll do something. He actually did have a pretty decent run, and so did the 6 car,
the 19 car,
and the
19 car.
So maybe I said about Roush wise.
Oh,
you know, I was just thinking about the Roush team. You know, how we need those Fords to come back.
Post race comments from the 19. That's all I want to say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, where are they, Scott?
Ricky wasn't there to make friends. The 19 said that Ricky took him 10, 20 laps to get around the 17, and by that time his tires were junk and he couldn't catch the 2 car.
Oh, well, you know.
He said I drive a Toyota and the Ford's supposed to pull over. That was a big discussion
for NASCAR's sake, and for I think it was good on their part as far as a Ford finishing first, and then a Toyota finished second, and Chevrolet finished third. I mean, what can you say? You know, they're
dude, that was some awesome racing.
Yeah.
Can you, whoever's on here, can you type in one word what you thought of yesterday's race? Just one word, you know, one word.
Give us one word.
My word I came up with was unpredictable. It was so unpredictable. Here you had Kyle Larson dominated again, and then didn't come up, and then Kevin Harvick dominated a little bit. Didn't, you know?
Yeah.
Unpredictable. And I know you and I were having some good time yesterday. So
yeah,
through the last 50 laps between green flag stops, somehow the 2 car got the wave around and was able to. It was, if he pitted 10 seconds earlier or 10 seconds later, he probably wouldn't have been in that position to win.
Well, that's the thing about it.
It was very unpredictable.
Right. You had you know, the tires were wearing out pretty quick. And the other thing about the 42 and Larson, how, you know, he's used to running up against the wall, and you know he had a good run going there for a little while, but you know that's something else that came up was how's this going to affect Larson with running up against the wall. And you got to think about it too, as much as the tires were wearing out in that race, was there a lot of rubber getting thrown up that direction?
Yeah, probably, because it's a cheese grater.
Yeah.
Hopefully these other couple of tracks won't have that problem.
Which brings to the next question: should they repave Atlanta? Keep it the way it is.
Keep it the way it is. Seal it. Let them run it on. If they're happy, they're happy.
D-Lo, I hope
otherwise
I'm saying this
everybody
right.
Be right at the bottom.
You asked for a one-word comment. And
you got any?
D-L-O Mosley, I guess it is D-Lo or Dello, says fast.
Fast. Yes.
That's right.
It was fast. They were flat-footing it.
And then Paul Rodriguez says pit stops.
Yeah, pit stops.
And Rachel said Bradtastic. That's the word I can think of.
Bradtastic. That's a good word.
That's good.
That's a new one. I haven't heard that one. Bradtastic.
Yeah. So
he had the flu too. He wasn't feeling too good over the weekend, but
yes.
If you look at some of the guys on TV interviewing him, I watched them this afternoon. They're talking to him, and they're all kind of like, "And how's it going?"
Yes.
Here, somebody grab the mic.
Yes. I mean,
we're getting ready to go to Vegas. We don't want to be sick.
Well, yeah, he had Austin Cindric on standby pretty much all weekend, just in case he couldn't do it, even on race day.
That's right.
And so he still won even with the flu, and he was still able to grab that American flag and take a victory lap around the track.
Sure. Which
is pretty awesome. Like I said about NASCAR, they're really good about that. So, Scott, what hat you got on there? I think.
Well, we got one of our sponsors.
Yeah, we might have Scott Crow watching in.
Yes, Scott Crow.
And we got
yes, here we go.
I didn't bring my Robinson equipment hat. I don't see there's Tom.
There he is.
RIA Horsepower.
Yeah, baby.
Number 2.
Crow
That's right,
Equipment
Tom.
Company. We love them. Thank y'all very much.
Tom, you talking about horsepower, we spent all weekend and they never let up on finding more horsepower, trying to, beat that 550, 750 roll package deal we got going on with the taper spacers now. I kind of explained last time how the restrictor plate deal works. It's kind of like you got a plate. It's a little bit thicker than these sheets of paper, and then you got 4 holes in the plate. Well, that was the old way. Now we got this tapered spacers that's about an inch thick, and they got 4 holes, and the holes are tapered, but it restricts the amount of air going into the engine. Like I said last time, it's about like you go for a jog and you're breathing through a straw in your mouth versus breathing through your nose and your mouth open when you're jogging. So that's kind of the effect that it has on the engine.
My question to any engine builder guys out there, if you know any company. Yeah, okay.
I might.
Do they hand out those tapered spaces at the track that they used to with the restrictor plates?
Right.
Where nobody touches them as they put on them, or are they more lenient where nobody can file the insides out with a file?
They don't want you doing any kind of work inside those things. We had a box we got in.
Ooh, so you have them?
Yeah.
How do they check them?
Well, I'm pretty sure they have go, no go. I haven't been through the whole inspection process, but I know this year they really cracked down on the inspection process. They're doing a lot of it at the track.
Yeah.
After the race, they actually pull the engines and stuff now. Like,
what else you got there?
So let's see here. Was that Kyle Busch's 500th career start, or was it Kurt Busch?
Oh, I think it was.
I thought they said it was Kurt Busch's, and then I was listening to something today, and they said Kurt Busch.
Yeah, there were a lot of records broke this past weekend.
Yeah.
The first Supra win on Saturday, right?
Uh-huh.
First time Toyota Supra won. I know we're Ford fans, but you got to give Supra credit. It looked funny. It takes a while to get used to those Saturday Toyotas. I got to give you that.
Yes.
Especially some of them look different than most of them. There was another first.
Another first was breaking. Team Penske broke the tie for the 60th career win for Brad. Team Penske breaking the tie with the Indy 500, Trans Am, Can-Am star Mark Donohue. Yep. So 60 wins for him. That's pretty good.
60 career wins. That's Xfinity and Cup.
Yeah. So I had a
wait, hold on. We're still not done. We got another.
Oh.
and also Kyle Busch became all-time winner in the Camping World, Gander Outdoor Truck Series.
Oh, is it Gander Outdoor Truck Series?
With 52 wins, he bypassed our boy Ron Hornaday Jr.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Coors Light. More Coors Light than I think Sterling Marlin.
He has won a lot of truck races.
Yeah.
At one point
52. So he becomes all-time leader, and he'll be closing in on 200 career wins in the top 3 divisions. So that'll be a big milestone. But those were a couple milestones. And then, the most important one. It was Ford Mustangs.
Yes.
First Cup Series win.
Right. Woo! That's it.
Right,
exactly. I started the show off with that.
We celebrated yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, actually.
We gave it. Don't you worry. Don't you worry, Terry. We gave it all we had.
D'Lo Mosley says, is there a big difference in building Fusion motor to the Mustang motors this year? Actually, they're the same. They are the same engines. I mean, it's all Ford. It's Ford Performance, Roush Yates Engines. So every Ford that you see out there has a Roush Yates engine in it. And they're all the same. It's just a manufacturer thing,
no KB, no
it's,
Toyota.
Well, and it's just like having a street cars. You have a Ford, you have whatever Chevrolet, Toyotas. You might have a different car, you have a different body style, but they still have the same engines. Not all of them now, but in NASCAR we just run the one V8 engine for now. I think that engine runs out of its contract in 2022, if I'm not mistaken. Because I hear rumors about the V6 coming in.
Oh, no.
We would have a head start on that.
Yes. No. Yes. Right.
Yep. So, but I had some quiz. I'm going to quiz you guys. So I'm going to see some answers here. I'm going to read what Tom says first. But Tom says, Kyle Busch, please, if he don't need to be beating up on those kids if he ran full time, I agree. But
that's why they have the new Kyle Busch rule. He's only in 5-7 races a year.
Yeah,
if that.
Yeah, I think they did limit it. How many you can run.
That's called the Kyle Busch rule.
He probably picked the ones that pay the most or something. Who knows?
Right.
So, Rachel Robbins says, David, did you ever have to perform sick or perform as a Jackman when you were sick? Yes, I did. Actually, I had, I'm trying to remember what year it was, probably 1997 or 8. I had the worst ear infection I've ever had in my life. So I had to fly down to Daytona. My family was, my family was going to Disney. So I was going to go and meet my wife and kids at the time down at Disney. And so after the race, it ended up raining that day. I think we pushed the cars in. My feet were soaking wet. Anyway, it was a late night. Ended up getting in my car, driving over to Orlando and to the timeshare we had there. And I stayed. And we went to Disney for that week. And I was sick the whole week. I stayed in my van. I stayed in the rental van, just passed out sick. And I ended up going and riding some rides, but it was terrible. That's the worst.
I can tell you, I did quite a few pit tours on Sunday morning being sick, but not being that kind of sick, like hungover sick.
Well, when I went to racetrack, I was sick a lot. I don't know if it's getting on the airplane with all these people. And
I have a couple of rules when I go on the airplane, and I don't fly. I haven't flown in a long time, but when I do fly, you don't pick your nose or rub your eye because there's germs everywhere, right?
Yeah, there is, absolutely.
Yeah, and don't shake people's hands. Give them a salute.
Yeah, do a fist bump.
Paul
Rodriguez says, I'm glad that you guys find a reason to celebrate every day.
That's right, baby.
There's a reason.
Lord!
That's it. And then Tom says, I'll stop watching if they do a spec engine.
Yeah, me too.
Or V6. A lot of people will, Tom.
It's not going to go backwards like that. It can't.
Yeah, one of these days I'm going to have to go back to Disney. Rachel says that's sad, but all right. So I'm going to throw these quizzes out for you guys.
Here we go.
Let's see what you got. This U.S. president once worked as a ticket taker at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Don't answer. You probably know the answer. I mean, it's almost obvious because which president probably lived near Atlanta Motor Speedway or in Atlanta. So think about it. I want to see an answer. Give me an answer. Come on.
Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter. There you go. Terry
ding,
Clam.
ding, ding,
D-Lo Mosley got it. So, all right. So that one was kind of all right. So do you remember his brother's name? And I remember we actually had beer cans that was his brother's beer. Now, do you remember the name of the beer?
I do.
So yeah.
I don't know even shit. I know.
All right, I'll go ahead and tell you.
Give him 1 second.
All right.
What was Jimmy Carter's brother's name?
Yep, and
Billy Bob. That's right, Tom. He's a beer drinker.
Billy, yeah, there you go.
Billy Beer, baby.
Billy Beer. That's what it was.
It just takes a little while for that computer to get the names up there, but that's good. Yep, Billy Beer.
All right, here's another one. This are all Atlanta-based questions. This head coach made starts in the Busch and Truck Series. Coach
and a big, lots of fun in the track. He was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I remember seeing him, but one of the things he did. I'll go ahead and give you this little quiz about.
Oh, they know this is.
He said, yeah, and I remember him, but he said this is what he said as an NFL coach. He said, "Do you know?" He went up to an NFL official and he said, "Do you know what the NFL stands for, college boy?" And then he said, "Not for long. If you keep making calls like this." He was a character. I do remember that.
Y'all don't know that he drove the trucks.
Jerry Glanville.
There we go, Jerry Glanville.
Yeah, he drove trucks.
I got to meet Jerry Glanville one night up at Felix's condo, man.
Nice.
What a character he was.
And he had a team too, right? Didn't he have his own team?
Yeah. He had was Glenville Motorsports, is what it was. He owned his own team. And he probably ran a handful of dozen races or so, you know. But maybe it was about 2 years he was around the sport, but you know, he had a lot of fun doing it. You know, he had them fancy cowboy boots.
It's getting a little cold out here. So besides, I had to have the door open because I got my you know, whatever, all the internet stuff going off on my phone.
Where'd he go? Your spider's gone.
He's probably down here on my feet. So all right, this is last question. Spider John, there you go. Oh yeah, we was talking about that the other night with Dennis Branson. Besides AMS, Atlanta Motor Speedway, this Georgia racetrack has hosted the most Cup Series races, and they've hosted 12 races.
Next to,
and this is in the Cup Series.
Second most track in Georgia.
Yeah, and this is in the Cup Series also.
Really?
Yes, and I didn't know that either.
Ooh.
And they actually asked this question to one of the. The question was asked by Rutledge to Kyle Petty and somebody else, and Kyle didn't know it. He didn't get it right. So
I would go with. Is anybody else?
Starts with an A. How's that?
A? Oh, I was going to go with Lanier, so I'm wrong.
I think one of them said Lanier.
Lanier,
and it's apparently it's a road course.
Oh, so it's been a long time ago.
It was
in the convertible days, probably.
Maybe so.
Maybe so.
Must have been in the beginning, way back. So it was Augusta.
Yeah. Of course. Why didn't I think they were doing donuts on the 9th green, weren't they?
Is that what it is now? A golf course?
Yeah, that's what they did. They turned Augusta National Speedway into Augusta. Course. Okay, keep going.
So that was all I had for quizzes. Tom said he was the coach for the Houston Oilers.
Yes, he was. Yes, he went over there too.
All right. And Terry said she was going to say Athens.
Athens?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
So
Augusta. So there's a road course in Augusta, huh?
Did anybody think that the cars looked slower on TV? I thought they looked slower because if you've been to Atlanta, the cars fly. I know Terry's actually said she went in '96.
No, they had a segment on the radio today about this with Moody, and if you were told the cars were slower, then they knew they were slower. But if they didn't tell you, and you didn't work on the engine, they didn't look slower to me. I thought it was awesome. Those restarts were just amazing. 3 and 4 wide. And what happened was when a car got out in front, he just didn't take off like the old Atlanta.
Right.
And they didn't stretch it out. They were able to bounce back and the Cup. That's what we're going to see this new package. And next week they're going to have the ducks in the fronts, I guess, at Vegas.
Yeah. So, the restarts on the 4 wide and all that stuff. You know, I thought they looked pretty good. But yeah, I thought they did look a little bit slower. But I mean, you know, you might have been a couple more beers more.
You didn't enjoy that racing yesterday.
I ain't said I didn't enjoy it.
Check your heartbeat, man.
No. Here's the deal. They don't have to go fast to be good racing.
That's right,
baby.
So
you know that's the whole thing.
Why do we love Martinsville so much?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to see, you go watch the drag race. But you know what I'm saying?
That's right. No. We got some major changes coming in 2 years from now.
Yeah, Delo. I guess I'm saying this right. Delo Mosley says when we went by Truex it fast.
Yes, it did.
And you know, I think what the deal was with Brad. I don't think Truex was catching him. I mean, he was catching him, but I think Brad, he knew that his teammates had tire issues, so he was backing down, conserving his tires.
Right.
So he won the race because he conserved his tires.
But that's why we like Atlanta, because you can use your tires up, get the goodie out of them in the front, or you conserve your tires. That's what we saw when Kurt Busch would throw the green flag. Kurt Busch jackrabbit to the front and man went to the back.
Yeah, Brad is clever. Yeah.
You know? So same thing with Kyle Busch in the truck race. You know, he laid back, and all of a sudden he got that truck in the high lane, and man, he was gone. Wore out the tires, and it was gone. So
yeah, it
was definitely a good race in Atlanta. I think the crowd, considering the weather, especially on Saturday, the truck and the Xfinity race, those people got to give some credit for sitting out there, because it was basically raining, misting mostly the whole day. Yeah, they ran the races, and it wasn't enough to get the track good, but it was still awesome.
Well, something I thought was kind of interesting was, you know, you watched Daytona and the incident coming on the pit road. I don't remember if it was the driver for Rickway Racing. Was it a 52?
Cody Ware.
Cody Ware. Okay. And then, but I believe was it the same driver yesterday? But anyway, he ended up causing another accident on pit road.
It was BJ McLeod.
BJ McLeod.
And
Yes,
Ryan Preece.
Right, and Ryan Preece, but they were in that at Daytona too. But it wasn't Ryan Preece's fault.
No,
well, here's the deal. Ryan Preece was looking down at his tachometer because he didn't want to speed on pit road. So he was being smart, just like he did at Daytona. But I think
McLeod come in, jumped on the brakes, and he was taking it if it was just a split section.
Right, it was a quick thing. And I think we're talking about Ryan Preece. I think he's going to be very good possibility for rookie of the year. I know it's early to say that.
Yeah, there you go. Who do you think will be rookie of the year? There's going to be a lot of rookie contenders out there.
Yeah, I was trying to find my note. Who was the other one? Shoot, I had that written down.
Willie B? Willie Byron?
Is it Byron?
Yeah.
Okay, so well, there goes back to Byron. Is Hendrick's going to be able to do anything this year? It's going to be tough for them.
And remember that 24 is really the 5 car.
Yeah,
you got to remember that too. Mm-hmm. That's not the 24 car. The 9's a 24.
Well, and in the 48, you got this was only Kevin Meandering's second race as a crew chief.
Hey, look. Let me all set y'all something straight. Look here. Listen to me. We're Ford fans, and we have been waiting for this day. This year, last year, for a long time. So look, if them Hendricks cars are down, let's just keep them down.
Yeah,
that's fine with me. That's fine with Rachel and Terry and
I'm certainly not complaining.
Hey,
but
hey, no, let's keep. Wait.
So
Chevy,
the
Ford.
Hemrick and Preece was the ones I was trying to think of. Hemrick,
yeah, he's a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, and he
ran good on the track.
Yeah, Boucher finished. I think he finished in 6th or 8th. Chris Boucher, so he had a really good run. But that brings me thinking about Boucher. His gasman had a broken fibia and torn all. He had a broken leg or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then a Jackman got run over on a truck team.
Yeah,
with a broken shoulder.
Yes.
But one thing I remember from my days of being a Jackman, and I did it for for 7 years, whatever. I did a Cup and the Xfinity Cup and Busch Series. Yeah, you got to be tough. Now there was times where I had to jump, but there was also times where I knew I'm not jumping off this wall because that car's not coming to a stop.
That's right. You got to make your own judgment, right?
You do have to.
When your mama told you don't play out in traffic, she meant it.
Yes.
Don't be playing around.
And when you have experience and you see that car come in and they're not slowing down, what I would do is I would wait till I thought they were going to stop. Then I would jump down and then I would run around. You know what? If that extra 2 seconds saved my life, then it was worth it.
It'd be like a gazelle.
Yeah. And so,
that's right.
I was known for being fast getting around a car, I guess you could say.
Right.
And so my little legs taking off.
All right. What else you got there?
Let's see here. Back to JG Daugherty Racing. We're talking about those Chevrolets, right? Chris Buescher, he finished 8th. And this package that they ran for Atlanta is basically going to be like the Homestead and Darlington. I haven't actually looked into that, but that's one of the things. But there's going to be a different package for the Lowe's Motor Speedway in Vegas, and also I'm not sure exactly what that is. If it's going to be a little bit shorter spoiler or what they're going to do, but we'll see on that stuff.
They're going to keep it open,
but
they're not going to set it in stone so people can.
Yeah, which what it kind of reminds me of back in the old days whenever they would change it from week to week, basically. Different spoiler angles. Robert Yates Racing would go out there and kick everybody's butt horsepower wise. So they say, okay, we're going to raise their spoiler up a little bit, and take a little bit away.
Right.
Slow them guys down a little bit. But there's I think that the pit they're going to come sure there's a spot.
There he is.
And
closer.
There's going to be a good bit more pit strategies, like with all the tire wear and stuff.
TV here.
Yeah. Turn my camera around. So anyway, don't forget to click like and subscribe, and hit that bell notification. So for next week, you'll know. And I will try to go ahead and post ahead of time. Now that I know this camera setup's going to work, I'll do it. Maybe I'll go ahead and post on Sunday the link to doing this because it seemed to work out pretty good. The problem is I didn't want to do it from my phone because my phone has got a mind of its own. one day it'll let do a landscape view of our camera angle, and then the next time I set it with the landscape view, but where I go to do the recording, I have to hold my phone the whole time like this.
So,
and that is super annoying. So
looks like you got to figure it out there now.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. The picture look good. We'll have to go back and look at it.
And the next thing I got is I got some microphones and stuff and a mount and all this kind of, so we'll be even better sound. Hopefully the sound's good on this video.
You record some music there, man.
Or you can close us out with some music, And
Are we done yet?
We're getting near the end. Anybody got any questions? We'll go to a question session right quick. Hey, it looks like you have a 4-post lift getting ready to put up in your shop. Yes, I am working on it. It's sitting here ready to be sanded and painted. But that's definitely going to be an improvement for my shop. But I've got this tractor right here. I got a rod home. I've got this tractor. You see the engines out of it.
Yes,
working on
rods in there.
See my Welcome Race fans over here.
Oh yeah.
And I got there's my Miller Lite banner back there I got from Tom.
Oh yeah.
I got all kinds of stuff in here to work on. So I'm working on it. As soon as spring hits, I'm gonna be out here. Doors are gonna be up and it's gonna be on. Whoa, but lose my camera here. All right. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Rachel. Said it's an awesome shop. What are you gonna do about Paul Rodriguez says, what are you going to team motor? Brad's hurting. Oh, you know what? He won the race. Doug may disagree with this because, it hits his pocket a little more. But you know what? He won the race. So probably run so many sealed engines per year. And this year it's actually sealed long blocks. But when you win the race, you can tear the engine down. Is the way it's been. So it'll be all right. That'll be one we don't have to worry about. And he's made it into the what do you call it? The playoff? Into the final top 16 already. We got 1 Ford locked in. And I believe after next week we'll have another one, and next week we'll have another one. We'll just keep on going.
Oh yeah.
That's right. All right. Well, everybody have a good week.
Well, you got
any more questions?
We got Vegas coming up. We got Vegas coming up. We got the Gander Outdoors Truck Series on March 1st at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So we got a triple header in Vegas this week. And then on March 2nd, we're going to have the Xfinity race, the Boyd Gaming 300, and that's going to be at 4 p.m. on Saturday. And then on Sunday, you're going to have the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup race, the Pennzoil 400, presented by Jiffy Lube, and that's going to be at 3:30 p.m. So, folks, 3:30 p.m. is going to be the green flag start Eastern Time for Sunday's race. So it'll be a little bit later on in the evening time, but enjoy it. Get out there and watch some racing this weekend. It's going to be some great racing. Trucks, Xfinity, and NASCAR Monster Energy Cup racing from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Take us out, David.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. And don't forget to click that like, subscribe, and tune in next time. We will see y'all next week. And if you got any more questions, go on after the video. After I stop the video and it gets uploaded, go on there and ask the questions, because I get notifications to my phone, and I will check them and I will respond. I promise you that. So go on and check it out. Thanks, Beer Man.
Love you. Mean it. See you in Vegas.